All right, welcome back to another edition of Arbitration Studios as we, after a protracted absence, continue our journey across the whole damn thing of the Mass Effect trilogy with Mass Effect 2. Hi everyone, I'm JP Arbiter.
I'm Captain Jack.
And here we are starting Mass Effect 2 in probably the most interesting way possible because, you know, when you have this big sequel, you expect it to start off with
more than we could have hoped for.
Your protagonist and being big and awesome and badass, and no, we're in the shadow zone. We're in the spooky stuff, and you know, Jed Bartlett is suddenly smoking.
So, you know, and this is kind of going on a little bit,
but sending her to fight Geth.
Martin Sheen playing the elusive man so beautifully.
The Reapers are still out
honestly,
and it's up
when
to
I
us to
watch
stop
this,
them.
I can separate him from being Jed Bartlett.
The Council will never trust Cerberus.
However,
they'll never accept
the fellow that played Toby Ziegler playing Odin, I cannot separate, and that's just disturbing on so many levels. But I think that Martin Sheen as the elusive man here is gotta be one of the all-time greats.
It was power casting, that's for sure.
Absolutely, in casting. And really, he steals the show. As any good antagonist will do.
I can only think of one other Sheen that would possibly do better than Martin Sheen, and that's the one that is not one of his sons, Michael Sheen.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Fact.
I'm thoroughly convinced that Michael Sheen is not an actual person that, well, I mean, he was an actual person who was, like, born and whatnot, but, like, suffered traumatic brain injury and, like, got his personality completely wiped as a result. And so, like, just in the build-up to filming, they'll just spend months reconditioning him to be that character.
Disengaging tail drives.
You know, he's the first non-profit actor.
Board is green. Running silent.
So, his interesting take.
We're wasting our time.
He makes enough to survive,
4
but
days searching up and down
definitely
this sector,
does a
and we
lot
haven't
with
found
money.
any
So,
sign of Geth
Michael
activity.
Sheen, hell of a guy, and yes, could have definitely
3
done
ships
this.
went missing here in the past month.
Speaking of voice,
Something happened to him.
folks.
My money's
we
on
have,
slavers.
we
The
have
terminus
Seth
system is
Green
crawling
here
with them.
as Joker.
Picking up something on the long-range scanner.
Delightfully
Unidentified vessel.
played.
Who?
Looks like a cruiser.
Yeah, again, the casting agent for this game was just...
They were casting a movie.
Yeah.
Is what they were doing. They were not casting a video game. They were casting a movie. And I think it set the bar for a
Stealth
lot
systems are
of
engaged.
video games
There's no
to
way a
come
Geth ship could
to
possibly...
not only be written
Brace for
as
basic
you
maneuvers.
would write a movie, but also to be performed by the actors as if you were writing a movie. And here's the part. I'll tell you what. Every replay, this gets me. this whole bit right here.
It's... In terms of narrative pacing, it's a power move, for sure. Halo did something similar at about the same time, actually, because the last Halo game that was made by Halo's original creators, Bungie, was Halo Reach.
Right.
And the Battle of Reach had this great big mythos because it was not only humanity's greatest defeat, but it was the last defeat of humanity. Because it was unintentionally the pivot point, because it led the Pillar of Autumn to find the first Halo and to and that led to the Covenant Civil War and all that other stuff. But the big marketing for Halo Reach was you knew going in that this was a losing battle.
Not to change the subject back to the game we're commenting on, but I love the sense of the sense of positivity they have when they grab those tiny little fire extinguishers, thinking that it's going to make any difference to this blazing inferno that's going on.
Why didn't they just make sure that everyone had their helmets on and then vent the ship?
Yeah.
That would have put the fires out immediately.
I mean, they're about to do that anyways.
Well, the collectors are about to do that.
Well, yeah. Well, the collectors see they're on fire and they're trying to help. They're a helpful bunch, the collectors.
Going back to it, Mass Effect. I don't know if BioWare made the right choice in their marketing, because when they marketed it, you know, it begins with your death was one of the things that they put for Mass Effect 2, and I think a lot of people were wondering, was like, oh, are they doing what they did with Dragon Age, where Sheppard's not going to be the protagonist the whole way through and whatnot? And no, it's a great big fake out, as we're going to find out here.
Yeah.
So, and now control relinquished to us, and we still have our helmet on, because the other thing that they did was that, you know, you get to alter your appearance later on in the game as a result of the surgery, and yet if you still have the surgery, things kind of people still recognize you for some reason.
Yeah, it's true. And here we see the beautifulness. I think with Mass Effect, a lot of the kind of what makes it work is the attention to detail of the environment.
Knocking chairs out and they're spinning.
Exactly. Floating chairs, that sort of thing. Of course, sparks and stuff wouldn't be happening, but that's, these are the little things.
It really depends on what's going on and what's sparking, because sparks are not flame and they are not necessarily dependent on oxygen, because it could just be glowing hot metal that's flying off. And then there's also things where we're dealing with like nano-manufactured glass as the interface and whatnot. So like heat and flame are not the same thing.
However, and here we have Joker in one of those moments again, playing this game for the first time. I was just absolutely like, oh my god, you're gonna kill off Joker? No! I really thought that that's what was gonna happen, that they were gonna build this game with killing off Joker to, get the gravitas and whatnot, and then this happens.
I mean, hypothetically, at this point, there's some hope of recovery, and then there we go, we lose containment within the suit.
And honestly, the first time I played this HD big screen, I'm sitting close to it, and I'm starting to, I got, a little bit goosebumps. I was like, oh goodness, oh, I'm in space. What am I going to do? Am I going to do a Halo? Am I going to go down on that planet?
With no means of arresting gear whatsoever.
Yep. And it's amusing. There's a, not to, go ahead or anything, but in Mass Effect Andromeda, they start it very similarly, where you're falling, and it, same thing, same deal. Like, it works. Like, that starting off with you, like hurtling through space or falling or anything like that, I think that works. I think that's a great way. I think every game should start with you getting thrown out of an airlock or something and then falling.
Halo 3 started that way.
Rapidly.
A little bit of editing magic here is we skip through some of the preamble stuff. I did change our character up a little bit. Part of that was, and part of the reason, by the way, why there's such a delay between Mass Effect 1 and this is that midway through recording, I suffered a huge data loss. The computer was recording on just went kaput. And then backwards compatibility for Electronic Arts games like this decided to be finicky. So I had to go through the Legendary Edition and restart, and I did a couple of changes. All of our decisions are intact. But I swapped us out for the sake of making some interesting gameplay to a Sentinel-type character. We'll see if I hang on to that for 3, because we can change stuff around each game. But that was kind of the major decision point. We still hooked up with Yara, and Carthonasi is still dead, as God intended.
Exactly, and the universe is everything is right with the universe when Carthonasi is dead. And I hate you, Carth.
And Rex is still alive too, as he should be, because there is a disturbing amount of Rex porn out there.
As there should be.
Like the
Damn it, Wilson, she's not ready yet. Give it a sedative.
The whole
Don't
the
try
whole
and
thing about
just lie
the
still.
four
Try to
testicles and
stay
the
calm.
wild interpretations of it is just
Brain activity's off the
disturbing.
charts.
And here we can rebuild her, we can make her stronger, faster, better.
The bionic bitch.
Yeah, I mean they can do all that stuff, but it's interesting. I would have if I was rebuilding somebody, I would have I don't know like put in some enhancements, some serious enhancements.
Cybernetic Fuda Shepherd.
Well, I mean I wouldn't go that far. But, you're pretty normal. I mean, as far as this universe goes.
I mean, between our previous recording and this, I suddenly gained biotic abilities. So.
Oh, see, well, that makes sense then. They chopped up your brain and gave you biotics. That's cool.
Well, it's like
I can go with that.
I thought the whole thing was that like every human had biotic potential, but the most for most people it was literally just like, wait, are my fingers glowing if I like concentrate really hard to the point I almost give myself a stroke? Or versus Carthonasi being able to like drain people's very life force.
Yeah, but I never let Carthonasi do that because fuck Carthonasi. Excuse me. To heck with Carthonasi.
So let's talk gameplay here for a second because we got some interesting changes from 1 to 2.
Yep, absolutely.
First off, instead of the unlimited ammunition but heat being what drives you, we have. Excuse me. Anyway, now we have this. Functionally, it's conventional ammunition, but they mock it up as, oh, you're replacing quick swap heat sinks like they're machine gun barrels. Mm-hmm. Which I'm 50-50 on it. Like, at certain points I dig it because in Mass Effect 1, as you saw with our gameplay, you get to the point where heat's not an issue with guns. Yeah. I mean, hi, I've got a fully automatic sniper rifle here, functionally.
I will say this. In playing this and going through Mass Effect, and I came to the Mass Effect really late. I started playing Mass Effect after 3 had been released. I actually went back and I played 1 for the first time and played all the way through it, and absolutely adored it. And with the changeover to the mechanism or the mechanics in 2, I thought they were shoot him right in the head, punch him. I don't care.
Well, we are Agatha goddamn Fisties. So.
Indeed. Fist that robot, fist it hard. But no, I thought across the board each game, as far as the mechanics go, was an improvement. And as far as the mechanics go, I feel like they were getting better and better every time, and so I'm kind of.
The cost of this project is astronomical. Over 4 billion credits.
The changeover.
But nobody seems to care that we go over budget.
The having to worry about ammo.
Gets all this money.
I mean, that just makes it like every other game.
That was not a factor for me in how I thought about it. Because I'm not a first-person shooter guy. I'm not, generally speaking, even a third-person shooter guy. But man, the story behind this is just too good. Mm-hmm. It really made up for any of the, and here we have Terminator, where machines have decided to go crazy and just kill everything. The funny thing is if you play through this game and you just like speed run through this game, you don't really pay attention to anything, you never find out who did this. like you're just like through the, you get to the end of the game and you go, well, who attacked me? I mean, you do, it's in here, but if you're not paying attention, and here comes
the worst companion in Mass Effect ever.
Which, I mean,
this is the Mass Effect character that is responsible for your first marriage breaking up.
It's true.
Yeah, sorry. Forgot this is all new to you right now. I'm Jacob Taylor.
Honestly, I mean, it is true. She liked him, and the rest of humanity doesn't. Which is really weird because unlike Carthonasi, there's really no reason not to like him.
Unless you romance him.
Oh yeah, no, that's leaving the romance out. But there really is no reason not to like him. He's very.
That should be impossible.
You know,
he's a bro.
He's
gotta get you out of here,
but he's
Sheppard.
kind of unoffensive in most cases.
Well, and the thing is that
It's your station, Jacob. I'll follow you.
Yeah, we'll talk more. There's gonna, I mean, his whole story is going to be part of its own thing, and I guess I should talk about how we're going to do Mass Effect 2 since it's so. If Mass Effect 1 was alinear, Mass Effect 2 is very alinear.
Yeah, it is.
So a little bit of formatting aside is that as we go forward, the character recruitments are going to be their own video, and then there's going to be a video that's going to be, for want of a way to put it, Character X's story, where we're going to do all of their build-ups on the Normandy,
Depends on who you
and
ask.
then we're
I'm
going to
Miranda's
do
top
their
lieutenant,
loyalty mission,
but I'm
and
just a
then the
soldier.
aftermath,
I
and
served
I'll
5
be
years in the
splicing
Alliance
all of
before
that
this.
together. It's going to be
Now I'm
fun
in charge
time.
of the station's security.
So,
Usually a
so
lot
yeah,
more
we don't want to
adult
get too far
No
ahead of
one will
ourselves
fire
in
my
the
gun
deep
unless it's target
dive
practice.
analysis of Jacob or anyone else until it's their time. But this also serves
I
as
first woke up
Jacob
seeing
and to
Miranda
a certain
was
extent
talking to me over the
Miranda's
radio.
recruitment.
Lost
So,
contact just before I ran into you.
yeah,
Miranda Lawson is the
For
station's
me,
ranking
when it comes
officer.
to me,
She led the Lazarus team.
all of my
Her
hatred
job
is
to bring you
reserved
back
for
to life,
Carthonasi.
no matter what. So guess
And
she
so I
tried
don't
to
really have a lot
She's not
left
about to give up on
over
you now.
for
Said you
other
lost contact.
characters, even if I
Did you
don't
tell what was
particularly
happening?
like them.
the thing about
There was some
Carthonasi,
gunfire
or
and an
to use his
explosion right
proper
before I
Mass
lost
Effect
her.
character name,
She knows
Caden
how to take care
Malenko,
of
is
herself.
that a lot of
hope
the
she's
hatred
okay.
for him is just left over from the absolutely
said they spent
terrible
2 years
character that was
rebuilding
Carthonasi in Knights of
How
the
bad
Old
were my
Republic.
injuries?
Part of
I'm
me
no
wants to
doctor,
do that
but it
game
was
too,
bad.
since I've got it on.
When I
on
first
my,
saw you,
Xbox
you were
right
nothing
now.
but meat and
You know,
tubes.
I
Anywhere
love
else,
that
they'd
game.
have put you in a
And
coffin.
to me, that game still
Project Lazarus
still
was
holds
different.
up.
Cutting-edge
and,
technology.
I mean, really, every time I start it up, every time I go to play it,
I have fun with it on my freaking iPad.
Carthonasi is still.
I don't know the details. You'd have to ask the scientists.
A douche.
I'm pretty sure
so
you're not a clone.
it's the
They
universe
wanted
is
to bring
just
you back exactly
a
as you
little
were.
bit better
You're still
with that
you.
certainty.
What's
just
that
might have
voice
a few
actor's
extra
name? Mark
bits and
Meek?
pieces
I
there.
think so. Yeah.
And just I feel bad for him
Can you tell
too
me about
because
the
it's
project?
I
like
have nothing
Were there other
against
test subjects?
him. That's why
Project
I make
Lazarus
it
only
very,
had one
very,
subject. The whole point was to bring
clear
you
that
back.
I'm talking about
Just you.
Carthonasi,
Even
not
that was a challenge.
the voice actor.
2 years.
the funny thing is that
All
it
the
kind of
top
leans into
scientists.
it.
Yeah,
Best
no, it's
technology
true.
money could buy.
But
know anything about this attack?
but yeah, as
Who's behind it,
the
what
the
they're
thing about
after?
Jacob as a character
Damn
is
if I
that
know.
he is
I
always
was
just
getting
kind
ready
of
for some shut-eye.
bam, he's so
Bunch of
like you
explosions.
said, he's
Next
inoffensive.
thing I
He
know, every damn mech in the
even
place
when you
starts
romance
shooting
him, he doesn't
at
like
us.
want to
I'm
talk
guessing
about
it
his
had to be an
past. He
inside
doesn't want
job.
to do anything, and
You'd need
even
top
on
security
his
access to
loyalty
hack all
mission,
the
which
mechs.
we'll get into it then. That is a really good, if kind of
The last thing I remember
stereotypical
is the Normandy
story
blowing up.
Yeah.
in it.
Anyone else know?
And
Just about
yet,
everybody survived.
when finding
Few
out
servicemen from the
the
lower decks
results
didn't
of
get out.
everything as he goes
Navigator
for it,
Presley was
he
killed by an
sees it,
explosion.
he
But everyone
condemns
else,
it,
including the
he's
non-alliance
angry
crew,
throughout the
sorry
entire
we
time,
are.
and then he gets over
Orion,
it.
they
And
made it out
and
alive.
the thing is that humans don't
Do you know
get
what any of them
over
are doing
shit
now?
like that.
I don't know,
Not
Commander.
not
It's been
not
2 years.
on the plane ride
They
home.
moved on. Left the alliance.
Yeah, and that's his
Could
kind
be
of thing
anywhere.
is that he doesn't.
They were my team.
Like,
They knew I was
I
alive.
think that
They'd
he
come
is
back.
a living embodiment.
Maybe you can track
of
them down after
some
we
of
get off the station.
I don't want to say glitches of
If
the
we get
game,
off the station.
but kind of the way the game.
What's the quickest way to those
is
shuttles?
in that
Depends where the
not
mechs are
every-
thickest.
They didn't
Probably
write
best if we
everybody reacting to
Anyone on this
everything.
frequency?
And I think that
Anybody still
his
alive out there?
writing was he just doesn't react to anything.
Wilson,
Like,
Even the
Jacob,
stuff that happens
here with
directly to
Commander
him.
Sheppard.
Exactly, and
Just
I
took
think
out a
that
wave
that
of mechs
is,
over in D-Wing.
I think that
Shepherd's
for him,
alive?
he just really felt like.
Never mind.
He felt flat.
You need to get
Yeah,
out of there.
to me,
Get to the
you want to
service
know,
tunnels
he
and head
felt
for the
like
network control room.
Roger that, Wilson. Stay
training
on this
character,
frequency.
like the character that you get at the beginning when you're learning
Let's
how to
get
play
outta
the
here.
game that
You
they
bet.
give to you.
We
He
can get
felt
into
like
the service
that,
tunnels
and
through this
every time
door.
I look back at him, I was like, "Why are you still here? Shouldn't something have happened to you so that you're no longer with the party? What are you still doing?"
Unlike Jenkins in Mass Effect 1, who ascended to become this meme.
Yeah, well, I mean, give me back Jenkins. I take Jenkins back. Honestly.
We were not good enough for Jenkins. minds.
It's true. The universe is not good enough for people. So anyways,
Speaking of Mass Effect memes, see the videos of AI generated Donald Trump, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden talking Mass Effect everywhere.
Oh, good. Do yourselves a favor. If you have not seen that, look that up, and
now
you will be delighted.
And now they're doing their own playthrough, which will drown out ours.
Well, yeah.
Physical
I mean,
reconstruction of
they're the
subject is
president. What are
complete,
you going to do?
but we still need to evaluate all mental and neurological
They're the
findings.
president. They're one guy.
Yeah,
Orders were
they
clear.
are.
Make Commander Sheppard
Ooh.
who she was before
Now
the
that
assault.
just makes me wonder if like all of the living presidents right now are just like the Quintessons from Transformers, where it's one dude,
You were
five
there the first
faces.
time I regained
I mean,
consciousness.
given, yeah, I mean, I could, given the environment and
talk
the way
about this
things
after
are,
we
I
fix
can
my leg.
understand why.
Should be
one
some
would-
Metagel in the first
Oh,
aid station on the
and
wall.
you know,
Hopefully there's enough to get
every
him up
one
and
of them
moving
was
again.
kind of like their own
Grab the
special
Metagel from the
brand
first
of
aid
evil.
station.
Well, I mean,
From the pure chaotic evil of the guy before the current guy to the
Thanks,
lawful evil of
I thought you'd save my life.
of
that makes us
W to
even now.
the
I thought
sort of
maybe I could shut down the security mix.
you know,
Whoever did this fried the whole system.
Joe Biden is just kind of like
Completely
pure
irreversible.
chaotic. I think at
We
this
didn't ask what
point.
you were doing.
you know,
Why do
I'll
you
be
even
honest
have
with you,
security
I-
measures?
Like,
I
let's
dig-
You were in the
let's
Bible.
pivot into something.
I kind of
I
dig,
came here to try and fix this.
Dark Brandon.
Besides, I was shot.
I kind of dig when he gets that
You
way.
explain
Well, now it's not Dark Brandon. Now it's Dank Brandon.
Dank Brandon. Oh, I like Dank.
You're all strangers to me.
I
Let's
love
get
me some
someplace safe and then we'll
dankness.
sort out this.
Hi, I'm just gonna pardon a
Shepard,
bunch of people with
we need
pot
to find
offenses.
Miranda.
Yeah,
We can't
yeah,
leave her
just
behind.
bring on the
Forget
dank.
about Miranda.
Bring
She
on the
was over in
stank.
D-Wing.
You know,
The mechs
little-
were all over
little
that
air-
sector.
No stems.
There's no way she
seeds.
survived.
Just
A
just
bunch
the
of
good
mechs
stuff.
won't drop Miranda. She's alive.
Where is she?
I'm guessing
we heard
that
from her? There are only
Snoop,
two possible
like
explanations.
he does for all
She's
of
either
us,
dead or she's a traitor.
advised the president on the
I
wisest
haven't known her
thing
long
to
enough
do.
to trust her.
This project was Miranda's
Funny thing
baby.
is, I hear he
She'd
doesn't
never
actually
sabotage
like
it.
smoke anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe she's not a
however,
traitor,
he
but that doesn't
does
change the
dispense
facts.
wisdom.
We're she's not.
But
We need
Faux
to
show,
save
faux
ourselves.
show.
show.
I am white as they come, and I am trying to evoke Snoop. I'm so glad that Snoop lion thing like disappeared as quickly as it came.
Yeah, see,
Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I was really high that day.
indeed. See, in this situation, you have two characters, right?
Okay, we took
These
him
two
down.
people are,
But this is getting tense.
Are the
Shepard, if I
preview
tell you who we
characters,
work
or
for,
or
will you trust me?
you know,
really
they're the
isn't the
characters
time,
that
Jacob.
you
We won't
learn
make it
how
if she's
to
expecting a
control
shot
your
in the
party
back.
with.
If you want to piss off the
Except
boss,
Jacob
it's your
stays
ass,
around.
Jacob.
Lazarus Project.
And I don't know why.
Programming.
I mean,
It's funded and controlled by Cerberus.
And mechanically, he's almost identical to another
I ran
character
into
we'll
Cerberus
find
a few
later.
times while I was
Just
investigating
less
Saren.
awesome.
Some kind of
It doesn't help
pro-human
that that
splinter
other
group,
character
right?
is a
Well,
Krogan.
that's what the Alliance
I mean,
wants people
because
to
nothing
believe.
matches a Krogan.
yeah, no.
There's more
I
to
mean,
it.
once you get a
The
Krogan,
Alliance declared you dead.
it's-
They gave up.
It's game
Cerberus
over.
spent a
It-
fortune to bring you
Hi,
back.
I need something broken down.
Look, I'd be suspicious too.
Really, I
Right now,
wish
we have
in
to work
hindsight
together.
that there was a
I thought you
scene
deserved to
in
know
any
what's
of the
what.
Mass Effect games, including Andromeda,
Once we're off the station,
where,
I'll
like,
take you to the elusive man.
someone's just
He'll
pounding
explain
on a
everything.
door trying to get
Promise.
through, and then Krogan comes up and Andre the Giant's that thing, and then
Elusive
does
man.
the after you,
Is he
sir.
in charge of
Yeah,
all
no,
this?
that would have been
Yeah. That's not
fantastic
his
and a
real name, of
surprise
course.
given
Nobody knows who he
the people
really
that
is.
made these
It was
games
code
that,
name
that
the
did
Alliance
not
used
make
for
it
it.
in there or
Kinda
some
stuck.
reference of
The sheer pop culture awareness of stuff. I mean, they reference the Hunt for Red October for crying out
Well, if I
loud.
won't
It
get
is
any more
true.
answers here,
It
let's
is
get
true,
moving.
They do.
It's
And,
not much farther to the
Here
shuttle
we
bay.
have, you know.
I also like the effect of tech armor, which is why I chose Sentinel instead of something else.
Oh, it's true. The effective tech armor is delightful. I see that you are acquiring the Renegade
been spotted.
as well as the Paragon. Which
Well-
is always delightful.
Part of the thing with this whole story is that because we're working for Cerberus, who there's no way around it, is a human supremacist organization. Is it possible to be human supremacist without being racist towards aliens? Because I get that vibe from Cerberus. It's because in Mass Effect, humanity as a species on the galactic scene is not a powerful species. We're literally the new kids on the block. That we were exposed to the Mass Effect community by breaking laws we didn't know exist, and yet we're somehow answerable to. Which, how does that work? Why did the Turians start blowing shit up and conquering a world instead of an Asari or a Solarian ambassador saying, yeah, okay, there's a galactic order and you kind of like are doing things that go against that, so we need to here's your HR manual, we need to onboard you.
I think and here we have what I feel like
Come on, through here.
should
We're almost at the...
at some point happen to Jacob
But
at
you
the
were-
beginning and doesn't, and it just to this day just weirds me out. Like I feel like they forgot.
What the hell are you doing?
Like they put him there and then, like the rest of us, forgot about
My
it.
job. Wilson betrayed
Look,
us all.
Miranda is not a police officer. She will not shoot a middle-aged black
You
man
should
for
have
no
taken him
reason.
alive. See what he knew.
That's
Too
true.
risky. I've put too much time and effort bringing you back
That's
to
true,
life to
but
let
she
you get killed
is
now.
a basic white
You
bitch,
really think
so
Wilson's
she's probably
capable
call
of
one.
Yeah,
Not
except she.
anymore.
It is. I've never
say
played
so.
that
What's
Mass
our
Effect
next step?
side like
Oh,
Get on
yeah,
shut
like
and go.
comic
My boss
game,
wants to
so I
yeah.
don't know if
You
they
mean the elusive
out and
man?
out say that
I
they
know you work
banged,
for Cerberus.
Yeah.
but
Jake.
but it's
Should've
heavily
known your
implied
conscience
that they
would get the
banged.
better of you.
Well, I mean,
Lying to the commander isn't the way to get her to join our cause.
Well, since we're getting everything out in the open, is there
woman.
anything else you want to ask
What are you
before
gonna
we
do?
go, Commander?
And if you follow her on Pornhub, apparently she is not picky.
Oh, well,
I've had enough of this station to last a
my ex-wife.
lifetime.
But
In your face. Come on.
That being aside, we now escape.
I mean, Vorcha.
Hey, you know, they look
Even
like.
your- even
hey,
your-
hey, look, Vorcha looked like they would be gentle, caring, giving lovers.
You're really messed up, Quill.
Before you meet with the elusive man, we need to ask a few questions to
But no,
evaluate your condition.
so
You, man who's laid with an
More tests?
Nazgabarian!
Yeah.
Shepard took down those mechs
So
without
here
any
we have
trouble. That has to be good
the.
enough.
It's been
it-
2 years since
the-
the attack. The elusive man
so
needs
with
to
Mass
know
Effect
that Shepard's
2,
personality
I
and
feel
memories
like
are intact.
It is
Ask
a
the questions.
non-linear linear game.
Mhm.
There is a
Did you say
there's
2
a
years?
linearness to it
Been gone that long?
that is
2 years
kind
and
of
12
given
days.
form
You were on an
in this.
operating table
It's
for
not.
most of it.
It's not like it's
The
on
sooner we
rails.
start,
Mhm.
the
Like
sooner we can be
some
done.
games are, where
Start
it's
with
like there
personal
really
history.
is no,
Okay.
like you're really
Record
just
show you were
going
a spacer
the
kid,
one direction.
raised
and
mostly on
everything
one
like
ship
that.
or another.
But once you
enlisted
commit
in
to
one
a
medal fighting
path,
Batarians during the
there's
Skilling
really no
Blitz.
chance to diverge
Do you
from it.
remember that?
Yeah.
There's a case in point with, I'll just pick a random planet, Ilium,
that position.
which we'll
Did
see
what I had
later.
However you want
Once
to
you
put it,
land
it's
on
damn
Ilium, you
impressive.
really don't take
I
off
had
from
friends who
Ilium
were
until you've done
Satisfied
everything there is to
Miranda.
do on Ilium, and
Almost.
then you have to decide
Let's
if it's
try
worth the
something more
experience
recent.
points to go back once in a
Vermeer,
once in a
where you
while for the
destroyed
side
Saren's
shit.
cloning
Yeah.
facility.
Yeah, and
You had to leave one of
the-
your squad
I
behind
will
to
say
die in
this:
the blast.
the
Lieutenant
si-
Caden
I
Alenko
felt like
was
the
killed in
side
action.
missions
It was
on
your
this
call.
were
Why did you leave him behind?
slightly more manageable
Well,
than the first one. I felt like in Mass Effect 1, they kind of got
Being
a
in command
little,
means that sometimes you give orders
overboard
knowing that
in
your people are going to
the,
die. That can't affect your decisions.
little
Caden gave his life for the rest of
side
the team.
quests and
Without
things
him, I
like
couldn't
that.
have stopped.
well,
Sam.
and the fact is that you
Died a
could
hero.
land on like what
I understand, Commander.
2/3 of
And I
the
wasn't
planets
judging your
that were
decision.
available.
Everybody
Yeah.
at Cerberus
And
knows that cloning
on
facility
most
had
of
to be
them,
destroyed.
like you could
There
like
are other
pick
tests
up a
we
couple
really
of
should
precious
run.
metals.
Come
you
on,
could
Miranda.
do
Enough
a
with the
couple of
quizzes.
things, and then like
Memories are
you're done.
there, and I can vouch for Shepard's
and
combat
I
skills
felt like
personally.
I suppose
Mass
you're
Effect
right.
2 was a
We'll have to hope
most
the
of
man
what you
accepts
do
our
in
little
Mass
field
Effect 2,
test
I
as
feel like
evidence enough.
I felt like had some effect on the game that you were playing.
Now a lot of those side missions were just XP pills
Yeah.
too. So, but
The elusive man is waiting for you in
there's
the other
a
room.
use for that too, and there is a story in there if you care enough.
Right. And here we have
Our job interview
our job interview with
with Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, which and I'm not gonna lie to you, the first time I played this, because it was so far down the line, because it was after Mass Effect 3, and it was obviously after I had watched The West Wing. I really, at first, was very much, I'm getting a job
Commander
interview
Sheppard.
with the president, and I better do well. And then,
I thought we
like
were
almost
meeting face to
immediately,
face.
Unnecessary
after
precaution.
listening to him for a
Not
little while.
unusual for people who know
you were
what
like,
you and
"Oh,
I
no,
know.
This is the elusive man. This is not Jed Bartlett.
Mhm.
This is
From what I hear, I
this
cost
is
you a
an actor."
fortune.
You know, he's a
For
he's
the
a
defense
true
and
actor,
preservation
and he doesn't
of
have to do
humanity.
anything with his voice.
I
He
didn't
doesn't
spend 2
change his
years
voice.
and billions
He
of
doesn't.
credits
It's
bringing you
Martin
back
Sheen's
to
voice.
serve as
Yeah.
a common soldier.
It's just
But
the way he
humanity is up
delivers
against the
things.
greatest
As
threat
an
of our
actor,
brief
it
existence.
is
The Reapers.
watching him work.
Good to
in
see your
anything that
memory
he does,
still
it's
intact.
a
How are you
class,
feeling?
really,
Yep.
on how to perform.
Well, I mean,
I noticed a
There-
few
there's
upgrades. I hope you didn't replace anything
Martin
really
Sheen
important.
is
We
part
tried
of
to
that
keep you
generation
as
of
intact
actors
as
that
possible.
knew how to
We
act
need
without
Sheppard,
overacting.
just as you were when you defeated
The
Sovereign.
you
What are
know,
the Reapers doing that
him,
made
Bruce
you decide
Willis,
to bring me back?
is another example.
We're at
Bruce
war.
Willis, for
No
all
one
of his
wants to admit it,
goofiness and
but
for all of how
humanity is
weird
under
he
attack.
got, particularly as he
While
got
you've been
older,
sleeping,
he
entire
knew how
colonies
to
have been
act. He knew how to
disappeared.
play his
Human
characters.
we believe it's someone
I think
working
Jonathan
for the
Frakes is
Just
another
as
example
yeah,
of.
yeah.
Now he's a
You
much
think
better
yourself.
director than he
You're
is an
best of all of
actor,
them.
but he
That's
was a
just one
good
reason we
actor.
chose you.
If anybody over at the
Fighting a
studio
war doesn't
is
seem like
listening or
Cerberus.
listens to this,
Why are you
just
involved?
give him
We're
total
committed to the
carte blanche
advancement and
control
preservation
the
of humanity.
Star Trek.
Yeah,
If the
forget-
Reapers are
forget
targeting
this,
us, trying to wipe
and,
us out,
you can
Cerberus will
just,
stop them. If we wait for
can just count the
politicians or
money.
the alliance,
Yeah, the
No more UN
the
colonies
unfortunate
will be
other
left.
thing about that, now it turns out that Warner Brothers wants to merge with Paramount, and I'm just going,
Sovereign
oh,
was
God,
trying
no.
to harvest all life in the
No.
galaxy.
But,
Why would the
yeah, no,
Reapers
Jonathan
target a
Frakes,
few
you're absolutely
human
right.
colonies?
You're absolutely right on that.
hundreds of thousands of colonists
But
have vanished.
we get back to
I'd say that fits
to
the
this. We
definition of
have the
harvesting.
elusive man.
Nobody's paying attention because it's
who,
random, and the attacks occur
is
in remote
really
locations.
trying
I don't know why
here
they've
to
suddenly
be-
targeted
and
humanity.
The best
Maybe
part
you got their
about
attention where you
a
killed one
good
of them.
villain is that they believe that they're right.
Yeah.
And he plays that.
If this is a
beautifully,
threat against
to
humanity,
the point where
we need to mobilize
you know
the
there
alliance.
he's not.
They
There-
suffered substantial losses fighting Sovereign.
He
They're rebuilding.
well,
still
he
stretched
is
too
human
thin to waste
centric.
resources
He does not
verifying
come
the Reaper
across
threat.
as this
Blaming the abductions on
raving,
mercs and pirates is easier. and more
frothing at the
convenient.
mouth racist.
Well, and that's where I brought up that question earlier, is that can an organization be human
You could have
supremacist
trained
without
an entire
being
army for what you spent to bring me
racist?
back.
You're
And
unique.
Cerberus,
Not just an ability. or
I don't
what you
think it
experienced,
crosses that
but
line
what you
into again
represent.
the lawful
for
evil.
humanity,
I
a key
but
moment.
it
You're
certainly
more than a soldier.
gets
You're a
where you know
And I
there.
don't know if the Reapers understand fear,
I
but
almost
you
want to
killed
buy
one.
what they're selling.
They have
Yeah,
to
I
expect
think
that.
That's a key thing, especially when we see in Mass Effect 2 how humanity is dismissed, and as it turns out, it's
If
because
you're after the
everyone's
Reapers,
scared
just
the
point me in the
f-
right
of humanity
direction.
because we
Miranda
don't
was
play
worried you'd be
by
resistant.
the
She's
we
not
don't play
usually
by the
wrong.
rules that everyone else does.
I have a shuttle
Um,
ready to take you
One
to
of
Freedom's
the background
Partners,
things I love
the
is
latest
how
colony to
does
be
humanity
abducted.
fight wars? We use
Miranda and Jacob will brief you.
flexible, elastic defense and rapid response instead of fortifying something to be near
Miranda killed
impregnable.
Wilson in cold blood.
Also,
Jacob's just a
keep in
gun for
mind
hire.
that humans are
Expect
one
me to
bad
trust
day
them?
away from
Wilson was one of my
becoming
best
the,
agents, but he was a traitor.
the Empire
Miranda
of
did
Mankind.
exactly what I
Saved
your life
just
in more
like
ways than
like
one.
really, I mean,
Jacob's a soldier,
realistically,
one of the best.
humans are one
He's
bad
never
way,
fully trusted me,
one bad
but
day
he's
from
always been honest about
of
it.
just going off on a crusade
You'll be just fine
across
with
the
them.
stars, burning
For now.
and taking over.
What do you think I'll
everything.
find there?
Because
If I knew
that's
that, I wouldn't need to say
humanity. That is
Find any
how,
clues you can.
When,
Who's abducting
when
the
the
colony?
chips go
Do they
down,
have
we
any
have
connection
this
to the
like
Reapers? I brought
almost
you back.
ingrained
It's up to you
imperative
to
to
do the
overcome at all costs.
Indeed.
Not at any cost, at all costs. There's a subtle difference there.
Yeah, and we, you know, a lot of times that entails us going full on empire.
Well,
yeah.
Abraham
Man is very
Lincoln,
impressed with you. I'm
in
eager
the
to
Civil
see if you
War,
can live up to his
he
expectations on this mission.
shattered legal
I can't have anyone
norms
disobeying my
to save
commands
the
when we
Union.
get there.
Some say he
I know who
broke
I
the
report
Union
to.
to save it.
As long as you don't do
look,
And
anything to
is
betray
lionized
Cerberus,
as one of the greatest
I'll follow your
presidents
orders.
now, but at the time he was hugely controversial.
Look, I mean,
I never got a chance.
I just hope it was
laws
worth it.
are,
A lot of people lost their lives in
secondary
that
to
station.
survival.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and the fact that
We have to work together
humanity
here.
is
Your attitude isn't
actually,
helping anything.
a relatively
I have the utmost respect for your
good
abilities,
species
Shepherd.
in the Mass Effect
It's your
world
motivations
is
that concern
like
me.
I said, like
I
one
believe
bad
in
day.
what Cerberus stands
Well,
for.
yeah, we're on the
Only
good
time will
spectrum,
tell
but
if
we
you
are
prove to be an
hard,
asset or a liability
chaotic
to our
good.
cause.
It's very true. I mean, given another thing,
can you tell me about this colony we're
the
going
Reapers
to?
could show up and
Freedom's
they'd be
Progress?
facing the
It's a
Empire
typical
of
human
Man,
settlement
where
in the
there's
Terminus
just humans
systems.
everywhere as
They
far
had a
as the
small
eyes can
military
see,
force for
and they
protection
have all
supplemented
of
by
this
mechs and
technology,
security
and
drones.
they have
Average in almost every
just,
way, really.
you
Completely
know,
unremarkable.
I'm convinced, though, that in
until
that
the
circumstance,
disappearance.
humanity would fail.
yeah, no, absolutely, I agree. with you.
Any
Humanity
thoughts on
needed
what we
the
might
other
run into there?
species
A lot of
needed,
empty buildings
and
and
needed
one
the
giant
cooperative
mystery.
environment, because it's the cooperative environment where humanity is as its best. Don't
I'd
get
like
me
to know more
wrong,
about the Lazarus
we as a
Project from the
species do
person in
need
charge.
someone to
I
stand up
wasn't
and
in
say,
charge.
okay, this
The
is how
elusive
we're
man
going
was.
to do it,
If I was
get
running
it
the show, I'd
done.
have done a few things
You
differently.
have,
Yeah.
here is our result. You guys
You've
figure out how to
changed.
get there,
To
but
start,
this
I would
is
have
the
implanted you with
result.
some type of control chip.
That's
But
what
the
Shepherd
elusive man
does.
wouldn't allow
We
it.
have Shepherd.
He was
who,
afraid it might affect
who
your
goes on this
personality,
wonderful
alter your
hero
character
journey.
somehow.
And of course, now
He wouldn't let us do anything that
we're
might
talking
limit your
to
potential in any way.
Our colleague here, Miranda.
The one we
Tell
like.
me a little
Yeah,
about
no,
yourself.
Which is funny because
Worried about
we
my
have no
qualifications?
reason to like her.
I can
No,
crush a
and-
mech
and
with my
no reason-
biotics
and
or shoot its
honestly,
head off at 100 yards.
She's one of the companions
it,
that I
Pete.
kind of wish had come back for 3.
Did you and Jacob serve
a
together
little
in the
bit.
Alliance?
No,
just
the elusive
in
man
that,
recognized my potential and recruited me at a young age.
I
How old were
enjoyed
you?
her
Old
as a
enough to know this is what I
character,
wanted.
and I enjoyed the fact that at first she
was trying to get
seems
to know
like
you as a human
she's
being.
just a basic.
I'm not looking for a
stuck-up,
friend,
rich,
Shepherd. Stay focused on the mission.
Hot,
hot,
basic
It's
bitch.
obvious
basic
you're not interested in
bitch, and then,
talking.
you know,
We've got an
things-
assignment. We
things
can
turn
talk
around
about it or we
and
can do
kinda
it.
get to know her a little bit better. Speaking
I'm glad
of
the
people
elusive
that,
man
But we
convinced
will.
you to
really
join us,
no
Commander.
reason to get to know them because
I just want to find out what happened to those
you
missing
know,
people.
They are
I still don't trust
the
Cerberus.
equivalent
Noted.
of milk.
Do you trust me,
Really.
Commander?
I mean,
I haven't made up my mind about
You,
it.
useful in
At least you're
things,
giving me a
but
chance.
Yeah,
like
use-
who
Most
actually
Alliance
likes
soldiers hate
milk?
Cerberus on principle.
exactly. You know, I mean,
Do you know anything about
people
this
with certain
colony we're
kinks
going
aside.
to?
It's called Freedom's Progress.
I think, and
know much
what's
else.
really funny is
I guess
that,
we'll find out when
you
we
know,
get there.
kind of jumping ahead a little bit.
said you served
there's
in the
a mission in
Alliance.
3 where
5 years in total.
reconnect with
Stationed
him,
all
and,
over the galaxy.
I feel like
Even
he's a
spent
better
a couple of
character.
years as a Corsair.
Unless you
For-
romance them.
Corsairs.
for that. Yeah, well,
It was
you
an
know,
Alliance initiative. They
the-
hired independent starship
Everything
captains and used them for
begins and
missions that
ends
fell
with
outside
unless you
official
romance
Alliance
them.
jurisdiction.
I-
Technically, we weren't part of the
I
Alliance.
have this whole
If we ever
character
got
arc
caught, they could disavow
for
any
what I
knowledge
call
of us. We were
Susie,
supposed to be
the
free from
angry
restrictions
lesbian
and rules.
shepherd.
There was
And
still enough red
it's
tape to sink a cruiser.
and it involves
finally
romancing
just gave
Jacob
up.
in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why. I mean, that would.
Why did
that
you join
would lead
Cerberus?
somebody to end up
I guess I
being
just got
a
tired of never
lesbian.
making a difference.
So
So much of
Not
what's in
that,
the Alliance
not that you
seemed
weren't
pointless.
going in,
I thought things
but
would change
just
after
that
the attack on the Citadel.
he would
Humanity
make
was
anybody.
finally invited to join the council.
So-
Nothing changed.
anyway, we've got about 60
Politics,
seconds left, so we got to
same
wrap this
bullshit, different leaders.
particular
Cerberus is
episode up.
different.
Indeed.
When colonies
So
go
yeah,
missing,
first
we don't commission a team and write a report
the
to
establishing
figure out what
action
the
of
hell
Mass
to do about
Effect
it.
starts
go and find
bold
out.
and it only goes further from there. I dig how this starts, and we're going to see how things evolve.
One of the best starts of any game I've played, really.
So we'll take a break after we're done talking to the whitest black man ever, and then when we come back, we'll head off to Freedom's Progress and get our first hint at what is actually going on and what's concerning Jed Bartlett. So enjoy the last bit of staring at the whitest black man weirdly, and we'll be seeing you.
Indeed. Deuces.